Didn't even sign on to my. Hey, we are live. Ho, ho. Well, we're live. Are we alive? I don't know. I'm not even on Facebook yet, Joel. This is how behind I am.
Right. Hey, I see it's on YouTube.
All right, we're on YouTube.
First time. Yeah. First time tuning into YouTube for me, actually. Everybody get a shout out wherever you're coming in from. Let us know if you're on. Let us know if you can hear us. Let us know if you're already tired of us.
Whoa, a whole bunch of people on already.
Right.
If you're already tired of us. Well, I'm already tired, Joel. I've been up since 7:59. Boy, I tell you.
That's an early start for you, huh?
Yeah, that's actually earlier. You know, I can get up earlier if I have to go to work. I can get up at 5. I can get up at 4. Get up at 3. But if I can talk myself out of a couple of activities that will let me sleep in bed until right before the show starts, I'll do it.
And you are a master at that, are you, Mike?
Yeah, and I got my coffee. I actually went to, and this was going to be after the beginning, but I went to get my donuts this morning. And guess what I had to get, Joel, this morning?
What is it, Keith?
First time since the COVID breakout, ladies and gentlemen, had to get toilet tissue.
Oh, man. A necessity.
Where's the button? You missed the button, dude. We did that in rehearsal. Yeah, I usually get mine.
Go ahead.
Since I've opened my shop here, I've got mine shipped in bulk, just because I can write it off. And it's, I got boxes of stuff anyway. I must have a box of. And lately, I've been getting it from Staples, and I found a nice brand that I'm fond of. And
it's right next to the same.
Of receiving the box of 96 rolls is having the UPS guy bring it in, looking at me and asking me, "Are you okay?" Because he's a nice guy. I've known him forever, and he knows I'm the other one here. And so, anywho, that was a little bit uneventful this morning. Went down, got a little bit of breakfast, got some toilet tissue, and came back.
So I guess we could say, Keith, you are typically always prepared for a pandemic, right?
Yes, I am. Yes.
And even in the middle of one, you run out. But fortunately for you,
I got to tell you, when I went to, and I haven't really been looking because I've had stocks, but today in the supermarket, there was paper on both sides of there was paper towels. It was completely, and I haven't seen it that way in a long time. So
a little bit of normalcy, huh?
Yeah.
Back in the old paper product aisle. All right,
hey,
can we get going?
Let's get the show started. I got my coffee. You got your coffee?
I got my cup of water here.
All righty. Sit back, relax. We will be right back.
All right, here we go.
From the Somerset Studios in Westchester, Pennsylvania, it's Smackin' Jack Live with your co-hosts Keith and Joel Slenderman.
Jack up your income, smack it in the face. Jack it up, jack it up, jack it up, smack it.
I really hope Neil Peart isn't up there watching me somewhere.
I think he would be proud of you.
Well, he'd look down and he said, "Look, you've only been listening to me for 50 years. Is that all you can come up with?" And well, it's about all I can come up with.
On that,
I don't have the Neil Peart signature drum kit, so that's probably got the second best. Joel, what is going on? I'm feeling 100% today. Sometimes you don't feel 100%. Sometimes you feel, for no reason at all, sleep or whatever during the week or whatever. I had a good week. I worked hard, and now guess what I'm doing today, Joel? Yes, it's gonna be the Keith show today.
Okay.
I'm heading down to Maryland this afternoon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Are you heading down to
Yep, going down to Big Sis. I got today off. I got a little bit of work to do in the shop. I got tonight off from the liquor store. I got tomorrow off. Haven't had a weekend in probably, goodness, I can't remember how long. So I'm going to go down there, get some sunburn, probably get a couple of headaches, but and I'll eat well. So
Headaches just because of the sunburn, of course.
oh yes. Yeah. I'm allergic to the sun. What do we got, Joel? What are you?
I can never find that rim shot. Never find that rim shot when I need it. Hey Keith, did you know that the tax deadline has come and gone? It was July 15th.
Yes.
Did you get your taxes in?
Well, yes, I got them in Monday. I think I had some time to do some running around. I guess it was 2 weeks ago, Monday. But Monday they called me and say, come up and I don't know why the lovely gal at the office never really. I thought it was something personal. And then I'm starting to thinking, the only time I see her is 2 days before deadline. Now this year, didn't I have like 3 months worth of
Cushion, yeah.
like reset or whatever? Yeah. I still didn't get it in until 3 days before or whatever. So I got them. I got it all back. I owed the state $4.
Wow, good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
I'm getting some federal money back, but for some reason I owe the state. I guess it's the state. I don't know what that is. That's county withholding or something. Well, that would be county. I don't know what.
Yeah, we typically owe the state a few dollars too. But brother, I got you beat because right over here to my side, I saw all my tax papers. I just put in all the numbers into the Quicken or QuickBooks. So that's all set, ready to go. Now I got to sort everything out and get it to my tax preparer, Mr. Allen.
Right. Now, you say every year you get an extension.
Every year.
Yeah. And, well, I can understand that because I think a lot of times when I take mine in, he ends up putting on me extension and deals with the important people first. But, yeah, you do have me beat. Why an extension this year, Joel?
I don't know.
Where's my button? Wah, wah.
Which one? The womp 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 womp. That one.
I actually have it. I have an answer. I have an answer for that, Joel. And then we're going to get on to the show. But
go ahead, Keith. What is your answer?
It starts with L, and it ends with Enderman.
Yes, Lenderman. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's all I can think of, Keith. Because you could give me a 6-month extension.
Yeah.
By the government, and it would take me 8 months.
Yep.
I don't know what it is.
Well,
I just cannot get myself. But anyway, it's done. I've put all the information in. I just need to sort some papers, and I'll get it up down. All right. So Keith, we got a little bit of a concern from Big Sister Linda this week. Do you remember that?
Yes, and I think it has to do with it's kind of on topic with what we were talking about last week. Bug remediation and all that kind of stuff. What exactly was her problem?
Yeah, well, I have to admit to you that when I first read her text, I thought it actually said 7 bottle of 7, SEVEN.
Right.
And it didn't work, the sprayer knob. I was like, well, what'd you do? Buy 5 or 7 water bottles at the dollar store, and one of them didn't work. I didn't figure this out until
you didn't. Oh.
Literally until this morning. Well, all right, let's find out what Big Sister Linda.
I might have just lost my brother. We'll see here in a second. I'll keep it running. So anyway, it's going to be very hot today. Very, very hot. I've already got my cap on because I don't want to get a sunburn on my head. Hold on a second. We'll just have to. Normally I do this and I kind of lose this and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think we might be. Very, very hot. Oh no, I'm still on. I'm actually still on. Okay. Well,
I'm here. Keith, can you hear me?
Yeah, I was almost going to do a little bit of and something else. I just got my my tap dance shoes back from the. You know how they grind them down?
Yeah.
I take them to the same place that Joel used to go to get his ice skates done, and I just got them grinded down. I was just about to put them on and doing a little bit of. Don't leave me, brother. It's scary out here by myself.
I don't know what's going on. Hold on, Keith.
All right.
And I don't know why this is still here.
Well, I was still on, so you must not have dumped out of the show. So,
All right. So am I still on?
yeah, yep.
All right. Let me do it a different way. All right. Still there?
Well, yeah. Let's say hi to everybody while you're getting
Yeah,
stuff
go ahead.
going.
All right.
Hey, Jim, how you doing? Hello, Kevin. Nice to see you. Maddox is going to the beach. Hey, Joe. Who else we got here? Brad, good to see you, Brad.
Did I see Bird
got me
Bricks on today?
What's up?
Is Bird Bricks on today?
No, I think one of his friends is on.
Okay.
No, I think Maddox. That's Bird Bricks' friend. Hello, Themis. How's the family? So good to see you last week, man. It was great. What else is going on?
When is that?
Themis the third. Hello, young Themis. Very good to see you too, brother.
Okay.
Barbara, Cindy, Linda. We got a great show. We got a great. Well, I don't know about the great show. We got a great attendance.
We're having some technical difficulties. All right.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can get to my screen share here. I'm not sure what's going on with that today.
All right.
All right. So I'm going to share my screen. Yes. All right. Now we're going to go to here. Can you see that, Keith?
Yeah. Yes. Yep. Uh-huh.
And am I still on?
Yeah. You're still on.
Okay, good. All right. So this is a bottle of Sevin, Sevin, ready to use. And Linda was just dumbfounded at the fact that the sprayer nozzle on this worked maybe 5 squirts and then broke. So Keith, I'm not sure how much this stuff costs, but I would be very upset too if I was.
I would be very upset. Not only cost wise, and it's not cheap. It's probably not too expensive, but it's inconvenience. Linda's a good 15, 20 minits away from the Ace Hardware.
That's right. Every time she has to get something, it's got to be like a half-hour drive.
It's an event, yes.
That's right. All right. Now, the second thing that happened to our poor sister Linda this week is look at that.
Now, this is horrible. And just the other night, after she sent me this, I was coming home, and the car in front of me swerved out of the way. There was a big chunk of some kind of wood in the. So that is dangerous, sis. And I'm glad nothing more than that happened.
Okay, so that was apparently a piece of wood. To me, it looks like a potato. Do you think maybe somebody was making French fries
Yeah, well,
and decided to throw the potato out the window? I don't know.
well,
What
if
do you think?
if you're going potato, I would go with a tater tot. But I would suspect that in back of that there is a real long spike.
Of some sort.
Because it really that's nothing you can put those those little gooey things you stick it in and then you fill it up with air and it's good for another 100,000
Yeah, what do they
miles.
call that? Stemisol, what do they call it? So she got a brand spanking new tire here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, and
Looking
look,
good.
they put that really crappy. What's the name of that company? Really, GM something. Why did they put that? Oh, never mind. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Joe. I thought they put a big hubcap cap on it for you. Sorry, sis. I'm gonna catch heck for that.
Oh man. Too much. Keith, you're gonna get us in trouble. Get us in trouble with that. Okay. So
Yes.
fortunately, Linda, I hope you got your 7 back. Looks like your wheel's in good shape. Sorry about that whole tire issue. Yeah, it was too big for a plug. And there must be some sort of spike on the piece of that wood. Maybe cut off or something. I don't know.
I'm going to go out off on a limb, and it probably fell off a county truck. Now, Linda, if you know anybody that works for the county, I don't know if you do. You've been down there for a year or not. Maybe you might want to pass a word. Stop letting stuff fall off the back of your truck. I don't know. It might not.
I'm sure it's probably somebody or something like that along those lines. So check with your county, check with your, I'm sorry, hold on. So we have an interruption here. Yes, Sophia? Say hello.
Oh, no! Finally!
First time. Love you, sweetie. She's going away for a day.
Bye.
All right.
Bye, Sabrina. Joel, this is a milestone.
That is a milestone. We have never had.
Milestone.
We have never had a guest within the household on this show before.
A family, well, your family member, yes. And how long have we had the show?
We're going on 5 years now.
Yes, and this is the first, we were getting kind of worried whether you actually did have a family, but there's proof now. So she's
all
looking
right.
great.
Keith, let's move on. Here are
Yes.
a couple woes from my end. Keith, have you ever painted anything before in your life, like house paint type stuff?
Yeah, yep.
Okay, so let's take a look at some of the woes I had this week. All right. so we put our screen up. We're
Oh,
pretty
looks
much
great.
done our porch. We'll do some final pictures next week, but we did do the screen last week. Now, Keith, you see these little trim spots in here?
Yes, yeah. Mhm.
Okay, so this is actually called lattice trim because it's about the size of lattice. All right, so I kind of cheaped out. Stephanie and I put these up. I nailed each one in, not with a nail gun, but actual finished nails. And then I went back over. I didn't spackle or I didn't caulk them. Okay, so I cheaped out a little bit here. I just went back and I primered, and then I painted 2 coats of paint on them. All right. Do you know, Keith, that the paint that I put over the nails ended up looking different from the paint that we put on the trim?
Wow.
Yeah. So
Like
every
a
nail
little
hole.
spot? Well, the nail probably rusted.
Well, they're aluminum nails. They're outdoor nails, right?
Okay.
So
Now.
they're not rusting. The paint looked different from the rest of the trim. Now we painted all the trim before we put it up, right?
Okay. Right.
So we didn't get paint on the screen.
Right. Good idea. Yep.
So I still had to go back and repaint each one of these trimming pieces to make it all look uniform
Ugh.
and not have those little dots. Yeah, so that was pretty annoying. So that's one of my issues this week. But the porch is just about done. We'll do pictures of that next
Yeah,
week.
looks great, Joel.
Got my car inspected this week, Keith.
All right.
Okay, notice the taillights.
Hey, look, somebody went and put a really weird name. Never mind. We did that already. Unless it says Toyota, I'm going to give you a heck of guff about it.
Keith, look at the difference between my taillights.
Oh, you got one of them replaced, and well, that one's opaque.
Yes, this one on the right is working. This is I
Oh, it's
literally
not even working. Okay.
Yeah, I just got home from the inspection. My car door is still open, as you can see. Checked my lights because my headlight's been going out. I replace a headlight bulb like once a year.
Ugh.
And often this tail light on the left side goes out. So apparently it may not have been out when it was there, but it's out. It was out when I got home. So there is some electrical issue. So that's another little issue for me.
Well, at least you didn't have to get it fixed to get the inspected, but you still want it fixed eventually. So.
Yeah, you would think that after I got it inspected, all my lights would work. Anyway, those are some of my issues.
Well, let me get back to the painting the porch. I did a job, a handyman job, a few years ago, and this guy was pretty happy until I overstayed my welcome.
Uh-oh.
You know how that is. Everybody that knows me, do it all the time. And I was just going to replace a couple of screens for him, and he liked the job I did so well. He's like, let's rip all the screens off, because some of them were, 2 or 3 different shades anyway, and in different various forms of disrepair. So we replaced all the things. So we put the trim we put up over top of it was like 1x4. He went out and bought it, 1x4 cedar. And I used my power nail to nail it in. And, he painted everything first, and then I put it up. And then I wanted to cover all the nail holes because I think that looks, like you're just not, for a professional job. So I went over with putty on every single one. Of course, there's always a little bit of overspill, when you're wiping it off and all that.
And you got
I
some
think little pieces of white all over the place. And he comes out, he's like, there's white all over the place. It's like, well, I'm going to repaint it, repaint the.
Sure. Yeah.
You can't get the putty the same color as the paint. And, I said I wasn't going to charge him with an extra hour or two, whatever. And I think he would have been a lot happier if I just nailed it up and left, because probably the paint peeled off of that putty quicker than it peeled off of the.
Yeah, probably.
So
you got to prime the putty before you paint it.
Yeah, and I've done that before, and it's forget it. All right, what else we got going? Joel? We got halfway through the show. We haven't done anything yet.
We haven't done a thing. Let's get to our main feature. Keith, do you say hi to people that you don't even know as you're walking anywhere in town, around? What's your thought?
Are these people? I don't know how to put this with all the everybody's afraid to say anything now. Would this person be like maybe old and unattractive, such as me, or would they be like a little bit younger, maybe smiling and flowing blonde hair, maybe something like that? Or
Let's not put stipulations on this, Keith. Do you say hi to people?
Well, I do actually. When I get close to them, I look just to see if they're looking at me, and then I say hi. Some people I know, and I think it's more people than not lately. They look away just so they don't have to say hi to you. So, but if I get eye contact, I'll say hi. How you doing?
Yeah, you find that interesting and you get closer to somebody as you're walking, maybe on the sidewalk or something like that. And all of a sudden something catches their eye, like the beetle that stuck to the wall.
Right.
The brick or something like, oh,
butterfly a mile away. Yeah.
Yeah. I will say that I try my best to say hi to everybody. Jim says, yes, I say hi to strangers. And when I'm running out on our street or take my run around wherever, I always say hi to somebody. Now, I will say the awkwardness comes in a couple different ways. Number one, when do you say hi as you're approaching? Like, is there like a certain distance? You don't want to say hi too soon because then you're still kind of coming towards each other and you thought your hi was already done with, right?
Right.
And the second part is that sometimes, and this happens no matter where you are, you run into the same people more than once.
And
do you say hi again?
Yeah, that's just uncomfortable. No, I'm still on.
Yeah, so Rich, you say hi with eye contact, and I do that as well. Now, I will say there are people, as you say, who decide to look away rather than just. And sometimes for me, especially when I'm running, I'm out of breath and all that. It's just a wave. As I'm running, I'm just acknowledging the other person. The other person's probably running. The other person's probably out for an exercise walk.
Right.
So I just hey. It's almost, Keith, like when we ride motorcycle, when you always say hi to the other cyclists, right?
Yeah.
You
Yes.
always wave to other motorcyclists.
Yes.
And we could get into that one too. But so anyway, the other little awkward part of saying hi is when I'm out cutting the grass down in the front, and somebody's walking down the street, and I'm like, okay, this happened just yesterday. I'm like, all right, I see the person way up there. I'm going to continue waiting, cutting my grass, and I'll wait till just the right time, and I'll look up and say hi. So it's in the timing there too.
Right. Yeah.
My eyesight's going a little bit, and sometimes I think it's one person, and it turns out being somebody different. So I don't want to call out a name and have it be somebody completely different. So, very interesting. Let's see. There's a couple things I want to talk about. Seeing the same person 2 or 3 times. Okay. Now there was one time about 10 years ago at school, and I'll talk about school in a minute. I don't know if Joy's on here today. But Joy, if you're watching this later, none of this applies to you. But in school about 10 years ago, one of my colleagues, Rob, went by, and I said hello to him, but it was kind of like, like in my voice right now where I had the scratchiness, so my hello didn't come out very strong. You ever get in that situation, Keith?
Right. Yep. Right? It's always like, oh,
exactly. So my voice wasn't real strong. And as he said hello, I said hello, but he didn't hear me. And we passed. He turned around and he said, hey, hello. I was like, Rob, I said hello. How are you? So I guess that goes back to if you say hello, but the other person doesn't hear it, does it really count? Right. Now, I also will say, oh, Joy, you're on. Joy, I will say that what I'm about to say here does not apply to you at all because you're one of the most bubbly, cheerful, most pleasant people to run into in the morning, either in the office. Although we don't see each other too much in school, do we, Joy? Anyway, there are times where in school, just like we were saying, Keith, there could be 2 people in the hallway, and I'm not talking students here. 2 people in the hallway, and somehow I am ignored until I say good morning or hello. But that happens occasionally, even in a professional world. I know a lot of people are tied up on what they're thinking and so forth, but just give a shout out to your colleagues, your friends, whoever's because when you say hi to people, it's just it's kind of uplifting. And Keith, I learned this from Dad. Do you say hello to the people who hold the stop, in a traffic when they're working on the road?
Well, I do what Dad did.
And what's that?
Driving by.
But when those guys are out there holding, guys and girls out there holding the stop sign, go slow. They're in the baking sun, and I have to say, it's got to be kind of a boring job.
Oh, yeah.
I always give them a
Yeah.
a thank you or a nod or something like that. And I would say 9 out of 10 times they're happy to say hi back, because it's just nice. It's just a nice thing to do.
It's called being American. Especially when you're sitting there 2 or 3 cars back and it's been stopped forever.
Right.
Then they, so it's like, hey, thanks. I always wave to, I'm just that kind of friendly.
Yeah.
American,
So Keith, that brings me to one last thing here. Then we'll get on to our trivia and so forth. Do we have time for trivia? Man, I thought this was going to be a short show. And
I'm good. I got somebody coming in at some point, but hey, if they come in. Hey, actually, I was going to ask your daughter, does she have a summer job?
She does not.
All right. Maybe we can have her on the show next week. Let's say hi to a couple more people before you get into this. I just noticed Sophia's on. Hello, Sophia. Patty was in the other day. A satisfied Somerset Studios customer. Thank you very much, Patty, for coming in. You're either satisfied or you're a very good actress. I'm kidding. She got some work done. And Heather's on. Heather, how are you doing? Big hugs to you and Larry. Larry's been a little Larry's never down and out. Larry has issues now and then, as we all do as we get older. And Larry is the happiest man I think I've ever met. It probably has something to do with you, Heather. So give him a hug for me. All right. I think we've said hi to everybody. So let's move on, Joel. What do you got?
Okay.
Hey, Jackie's on too. Hello, Jackie. Sorry, I don't want to miss any of the. If you don't say hi to one of the Galanis clan, you upset them, and you're missing. Next week, 75% of our viewing audience is missing.
That's not true.
So, yeah.
Okay. One last thing, Keith, before we move on to our trivia. You remember when Dad was in Lima Estates, he was down in the, that last area that he was in. I forget what it was called.
Well, that's continued care, I think.
Yes. Okay. So one time you and I were there, and right around that desk area, you and I walked in together.
Right.
And there was a couple leaving, probably an older couple who were visiting their even older, parent or so forth.
Right.
And as they were walking by me, I smiled and gave a nod, and a little hello. It wasn't a loud hello, but it was, and then you behind me said, "Good morning. How are you?" After they left, you said to me, "Joel, you got to say hello to these people." I was like, dude, I did. But I didn't say a word to you about that. However, as I was leaving that day, I was like, I cannot believe you thought I didn't say hello to that couple.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, Joel, I don't remember that.
I've never told you that, but I thought, as we're talking about this, that is too funny. Because I will say that you are one of the most polite people. When we go out to breakfast in the morning, you thank the waiter, the waitress, you're very clear about thanking them and so forth. And I think probably for you, that comes from your business that you're in, that you're very, interactive.
Well, I started framing, I think Richie got me the job when I was like 19. So I've been dealing with the public and I had this couple of friends that were friends. They were friends of mine too, but they were friends of my ex-wife's. And every time we went out, they had a problem with something. And it really irked. I mean, it was almost like a sport for them, They weren't very pleasant to the servers. They weren't, they always sent stuff back. They'd eat most of it, then send it back. Or they just weren't. And they never worked in public service. And I do. I work in public service all the time. And no matter what kind of job you have, the only thing I know I can do is be nice to the customer.
Exactly.
My management can't tell me how to, put this stuff on the shelf or do this with the, the money and blah, blah, blah. They can't tell me to be nice. And those people know it. And sometimes I feel like I overdo it, Joel. So, when I thank you or, they come back with a check the third time it changes. Like, thank you. But I think they prefer that over nothing at all. So
Exactly.
thank you.
Yeah. Everybody needs a little hello. Right?
Yeah.
Being nice to each other. All right, let's move on, Keith. Ready for trivia?
Yes, yeah. Let's do some trivia.
All right, let's get back to my screen share here. All right, folks, if you forget how to do trivia, because we haven't done it for such a long time, go ahead and type in. I think we have 4 trivia questions today. Make sure you type in 1,
Okay.
2, 3, 4, so that when we go back, we kind of know what answer you're referring to, because Keith and I really struggle with kind of matching up answers to questions that we're not even sure we know ourselves. Okay, Keith, can you see this yet?
Mm-hmm. Oh, am I reading?
Yeah.
I had to read a little bit in class the other day, right? And you notice how I cough all the time?
Yeah. Notice.
I started coughing during, they said, somebody want to read this, and there were only a sentence or two. It's like, oh, I'll do it. I always need practice reading. I get halfway through it and I started coughing and everybody's thinking I got COVID, right? Got my mask on, and for some reason, I don't know if it's my mask or just allergies have been horrible this year, but I just it's so anyway. I don't know what brought that up, but yes, I can read it. Are we ready? It's really tiny. Can we make that screen bigger or?
Let's see.
I don't know if I can. Well, nah. Okay, yeah, there you go. Which theorem is fundamental relation in? Oh, come on.
Euclid?
Yeah, geometry among the 3 sides of
a right triangle.
Yeah, read that again, Joel.
Which theorem is a fundamental relation in Euclidean geometry among the 3 sides of a right triangle? Now, I will say that in geometry, I don't remember that term.
Themis, young Themis. What's your wife teach? She's got to know that. Get her on the.
Yeah, sorry about that, folks.
Established in 1872, what became the world's first national park? Oh, I think I might know this.
I think I might know that one.
Yeah.
All right, so that's number 2. Number 3.
At 5 feet 3 inches, 1.6 meters, who was the shortest player ever to play in the National Basketball Association?
Okay, I have an ID on that one too.
Yeah, me too. I'm going to make sure I'm going to read this a couple times before I say it. I might get buzzed out here. Prince Humperdinck is the main antagonist in which 1987 fantasy film?
All right.
No idea.
I think that was number 4. Is that right, folks? Can't remember.
Yeah.
All right. And
number 5. The Connecticut Leather Company, founded in 1932 by Maurice Greenberg, is better known by what name? Oh, I think I might know that one too, Barbara. We doing one more?
Yeah, let's do one more. I think we haven't done this one yet.
Okay. What is the call sign of any United States Marine Corps aircraft carrying the President of the United States? What is the call sign of any United States Marine Corps aircraft carrying the call sign? I don't know. All right.
Okay, so we will come back to them momentarily, folks. Hopefully you had enough time to get something down for them. And let's see, Keith, are you ready for, you want to do this day in history?
Yeah, let's, if we forgot our advertisement though, Joel.
Oh, we did. If you're getting any type of value out of this particular show, whether it be great value or horrible value, go ahead and smack the like button. Love the love button. Give us a share. Don't forget to check out smackandjack.com. I will be updating that over the course of the summer because there's all sorts of new links that I need to put on there. But we just are appreciative of you being on today. So if you wouldn't mind giving us a love or a smiley face or something, would be fantastic. Keith,
had a customer just real quick. Had a customer in the other day. She, we were designing a job for her and all that kind of stuff. She's been a customer forever. And she's friends with my hairstylist, who, as you know, she stopped in one day, and I said, watch this show. Yeah. I don't think she's ever watched it. And then she's like, oh, Dawn told me about Smackajack, what's that? And I started explaining it to her, and the next thing she goes, well, what do you think about this color? Do you think we should use this color? So I don't think she's going to be watching. But anyway, tell your friends about it. You never know who's going to say hi.
Nice.
Yeah, let's do this day in history, Joel.
Okay.
This day in history.
You're right. You're on, brother.
Yeah. Let's see if I can find these things. 1936 on this day, Spanish Civil War breaks out. 1969. Well, it's not a good. The whole probably century wasn't a good year. Good century for the Kennedys, but Senator Ted Kennedy drives his car off a bridge at Chappaquiddick, killing his girlfriend. And he was married, so I mean, the poor girl died. 1925. Now, this is kind of timely. Hitler's Mein Kampf is published. This date, July 18th, 1925. First volume of Hitler's philosophical autobiography is the blueprint of his agenda for the Third Reich.
Interesting. Yeah.
Coincidentally, the first book that our Fuhrer, we just like to call him Donald, is it D or T? President Trump, was his first book that he ever read. And I believe he finished it last weekend. So very, very timely. This is a good one, Joel. In the year 64, Nero's Rome burns to the ground. And it says, despite all the well-known stories, there's no evidence that the Rome Emperor Nero either started the fire or played the fiddle while it burned. And I was reading something else where that he blamed it on the Christians, and that's when he started to persecute the Christians. The fire burnt most of Rome, and this day in 64.
Wow, isn't it amazing they actually were keeping track of time?
Yeah, isn't that? Well, nothing's written in stone. Hey, because back then it was. This day in 1918, Nelson Mandela was born. Nelson Mandela was a great man, very great man. He spent a lot of years in prison for just human rights, and he was a very, very good man. He was born and I can't remember when he passed. He's probably been gone for a little while now, but his birthday day. Also today, John Glenn was born, 1921, American astronaut, and we just lost him not too long ago. So, yeah, Joel, isn't it amazing when I get up and have a cup of coffee and look at a little bit of current events and kind of makes the show go. Let's go to our jokes.
You over-delivered today, Keith.
I did. I over-delivered.
Yeah. All right, let's do the jokes. What do computers eat when they get hungry?
What?
Chips.
Oh, yeah.
And how do they eat?
How?
They take megabytes.
Oh.
Why didn't the computer go to the prom?
Why?
She didn't have a data. What do you call a computer that only types in uppercase?
What?
Shifty. All right, last one. Why did the IBM and the Apple computers get a divorce?
Why?
They weren't compatible.
Yeah. I thought that they were incompatible. Yeah.
All right, Keith, let's do our trivia answers and get on out of here.
Yeah, we're running late as usual.
All right, here we go. Let's find my trivia
Let's go back,
again.
bring it back up. I'll read them and you give me the answers.
You know what? I'm going to make these bigger. I'll take us completely out. And, okay. So you have answers in front of you there, Keith?
Yeah, the theorem is which theorem is a fundamental relation? It's among, I can't even read it, but we got one answer.
In Euclidean geometry, among the three sides of a right triangle, and is there a Pythagorean?
Oh, yeah, that's what I got. Themis, very good. Is that it?
All right, Pythagorean theorem.
Oh, very good, Themis.
Yeah, so I've heard of Pythagorean theorem. Okay. All right, moving on.
I thought that Pythagorean had something going on with his mom. Oh, never mind. Never mind. That's
You'll have to explain that one to me later.
if I'm a senior, we'll get that. That's I can't remember what that's called. Never mind. Go ahead.
Established in 1872, what became the world's first national park? What do you got there for number 2?
Oh Lord, I'm so funny today. I can't. Themis Brad and Sophia and wait a minute, Sophia's got Yosemite, Yellowstone National Park, I believe.
Yellowstone.
All right.
National Park. All right. At
Pretty good though,
5'3",
Sophia.
who was the shortest player ever to play in the National Basketball Association?
Oh,
And did I see a Spud Webb there?
yeah, Sophia's got a Spud Webb. Yeah.
Okay, answer. Muggsy Bogues. Muggsy Bogues. Wow, did you know that?
No.
It's not
I
that
don't-
familiar to me. Prince Humperdinck is the main antagonist of which 1987 fantasy film? Keith, what do you have there?
I'm sorry, I'm getting
It's like
behind.
number
I
4.
don't.
Survey
wait.
says The Princess Bride.
Okay, yeah, and I got to jump back here. Themis, young Themis says Muggsy. Was that the basketball player?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we did get one right. Very good. Themis.
Okay, cool. The Connecticut Leather Company, founded in 1932 by Maurice Greenberg, is better known by what name?
I'm just gonna say LL Bean. No, what?
Coleco? Is that how you say that?
Better known.
Yeah, I know.
Better
What
known
is
by
the
who?
call sign of any United States Marine Corps aircraft carrying the President of the United States?
Oh, Air Force One.
Air Force
Congrats.
One?
Yeah.
Marine One.
Oh, Heather, very
Okay, so this
good.
is Marine Corps.
Yep.
Wow,
You
nice
are
job.
right. Yep. Heather, very good, Heather. Yep.
All right, folks. I think that brings us to the end of this epic show. Again, once we were going to keep this one really short. This has turned out to be one of our longer shows
Well, it's
in the
not quite
last
10 o'clock. Just want to mention, Jim, thanks, Jim. Nelson Mandela died at the 12/5/13, and John Glenn died 12/8/16.
both
So,
in December.
Yeah, so recently.
Yeah. Thanks for that. All right.
They were
folks.
both old. They both lived a good,
Yeah.
long
A lot
life.
of crew, a lot of people on today. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
What do you have to say there, Keith?
Thanks very much. Yeah, we had a great show. Like I said, sometimes I'm off. Sometimes I just felt really good. I hope everybody else got a laugh. You know, sometimes when I feel better, I blab a lot, and that's what the show's about. I think we got got everybody's mind off the current affairs, for a week, for a little while, and we're gonna do it next week. Joel, hold on 1 minute. Talk for a second.
Yeah, so hopefully next week we will be back. If not, we'll be back in a week after that. I know we have a little bit of vacation coming up. So as soon as Keith comes back, we'll determine whether we're going to be on next week. What do we got, Keith?
Rust never sleeps. I tell you what. Or no, what's the other thing? Ivy never grows. Ivy never gets poisoned on the south side of a rolling stone. Is that right? Or am I? Man, that's everything together here. Yeah.
Help us out.
We're doing a show next week, Joel.
Oh, Deb just jumped on.
Hey, Deb.
Yeah,
How are you? Well, that's better late than never.
Yeah.
And again, Debbie, you're gonna have to watch the beginning of it. But your last name is Helmer, but that's a married name. You are a Lenderman, so you'll when you watch the beginning of that, you'll know what we're talking about. So
all right, so we're getting out of here, Keith.
Yeah, let's get out of here. Thanks very much for stopping by, guys. And remember, be safe. Wear the mask. Nobody likes them. The mask works. So wear the mask, and hopefully we'll all be able to hang out sometime soon and not have to worry about this thing. So we'll see you next week. And remember, you deserve a thought of your own.
So be in touch to learn, laugh, and live. Thanks, guys.
See you next week, folks.
End broadcast.